Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. We just finished off watching Arsenal versus Manchester United, and I'm here to share my full thoughts on this game, on this performance, and the teams going into the rest of the season, because that's the biggest thing when it comes to these first games. That's why I watched Barca. That's why I watched Liverpool. That's why I'm gonna watch PSG in a couple of moments, because the first game obviously gives you some kind of indication. Especially these two teams. These are teams that have made a lot of signings. They've had the preseason. They're ready. They're ready. So, 61% possession for Manchester United, 39% for Arsenal. 1.59 XG for United, 1.05 for Arsenal. 22 shots, not a single big chance. That's something Arsenal doing good. They always recover well and defend the close spaces so the opposition doesn't get that many big chances. I think even against Paris Saint-Germain, the same thing happened, because that's what Arsenal mainly defend, the big chances. Paris Saint-Germain obviously scored a couple of non-big chances. The Dembouz goal, not a big chance. The Fabian goal, definitely not a big chance. And Arsenal had one big chance. But I want to look at the XG of the goal that they scored. So the XG had 0.61. So if you remove that, which came from a dirty corner, Bay in there in the net and everything, you're looking at 0.4 XG from Arsenal in this game. And I mean, there isn't that much to say about this game. Like, before we go into the players and individual thoughts and about Arsenal United for the rest of the season, just there isn't that much to say. I mean, United, they were really good this game. Cunha, Mbuemo, even Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Dorgut, created chances, created openings. I understood what they want to play. It's a bit of counter-attack transition. And even defensively, they were good United. I mean, obviously, Arsenal didn't create anything. That's also a bad thing on Arsenal. But United defended well apart from that goal, obviously. But Arsenal just scored that goal. We're 1-0 up. Obviously, very confident in their defense and be able to keep a clean sheet like this. But offensively, Arsenal should have killed this game off. Arsenal should have kept more control, because United, in one of their chances, they could have scored, and it's suddenly 1-1. So Arsenal got to look into controlling the game more and creating stuff offensively, because that's, for me, the biggest issue with Arsenal in this game. I expected more. Going in from preseason, looking at the players that they've signed, Zubimendi in the lineup, Gyökeres in the lineup. I remember even deluded Arsenal fans on Twitter, someone said like Zubimendi this retire as could be one of the best Spanish midfielders of all time and so on. But I want to talk about the two signings, because I felt like Arsenal are not using them. Zubimendi, you want to be a bit more position, a bit more control. That's how you get Zubimendi into the game. No, Arsenal still want to play their park the bus set piece football. And Gyökeres, I mean, he didn't take a single shot. Yes, we can blame Gyökeres for some of the passes he made and some of the runs he made. Sometimes he lost the ball. I don't know how much position loss did he have? Only 21 touches. How much position loss? Anyways. He didn't have a single shot in the game. And whose fault is that? It's not Gyökeres. It's these players around him. Odegaard, Martinelli, and Saka, they are, even Rice to some extent, because Arsenal players call Rice a playmaker, and he had the most big chances last season and all of that fugaziness. But where's the chance creation? Why did you spend 60, 70 million on Gyökeres if you're not going to use him? Where is the chance creation? I'm not seeing Saka spamming crosses for Gyökeres. I'm not seeing the Arsenal players trying to look for Gyökeres. And that, I'm not even putting on Odegaard, who had a good game. I'm not putting on Saka. I'm not putting on Martinelli. I'm putting on Arteta. He has to tell the players, this is what you got to do. You got to play more position and control so we get the best out of Zubimendi. You got to create more chances for Gyökeres. Well, it is what it is. Talking about the rest of the Arsenal players, Raya, I said it. Like, I've considered him a top 7, maybe even a top 5 goalkeeper in the world for, since last season began. I think he saves Arsenal in so many big games, and especially today. 7 saves made. Many great saves today for, especially that Cunha one from the left side. Great saves from Raya this game. Ben White, he was cheeky. Calafiori, cheeky goal. Apart from that, decent, I guess. Gabriel's. Saliba, once again, a bit questionable in space. But Gabriel was actually good. Arsenal fans obviously happy that he's back. Odegaard tweeted about it. He could potentially be back this season. He was obviously not the same since he came back from the injury last season, but a good game from Odegaard. I saw dribbling. I saw confidence in his ability to progress with the ball. Created that chance to Saka at the end of the game as well. So cheeky from Odegaard. Rice, I mean, just a usual Rice game. Just passing the ball around, running, defending, winning headers. Martinelli, You know, the thing with Martinelli is, think about it. Best Arsenal version was 21-22, I think. That's the Arsenal that Arsenal fans cream about. Like, that was prime Arteta ball and everything. And that was when we had prime Martinelli. But since then, Arsenal's gotten worse, including Martinelli. And I think that's due to the tactics of Arteta. Why have Arsenal regressed so much footballistically? The football that they play. They're not controlling games. They're not controlling the ball. They're not creating chances. They're not dribbling. They're not doing anything special. Yes, you can blame how much you want on Martinelli, but I think Arteta once again deserves the most blame. And probably a lot of Arsenal fans are thinking why it's saying so many negative stuff about Arsenal and everything, because this is supposed to be the league where you're gonna win the season. Isn't this phase six? Isn't this the three times you finish second? And this is the first time I see Arsenal. I watched Liverpool, and there are definitely stuff I critiqued about Liverpool, like the defensive issues, having so many players that need to adapt and everything. But I still saw, that's a team that can win the title. When I watched this game from Arsenal, I'm not seeing a title. Not a good game from Saka. I don't know. Maybe he was injured or something. I don't know. I'm not up to date with the Arsenal players, but not a good game from Saka at all. The dribbling wasn't it. The chance creation wasn't there. It happens. Going to Manchester United, Bayon did a decent game. When it comes to the goal, man, yeah, he could do better, but this is, I think the Premier League needs this because they are the only ones abusing set pieces to this manner. They need to be able to defend the goalkeeper in those situations. I even wrote with someone on Twitter. He said he feels the goalkeepers are too protected, but I believe in situations like that, if you're the goalkeeper, come on. So I think the Premier League need to get rulings to change that, because I mean this game was decided on that disgusting goal. Like, we can't have that in football. De Ligt thought he had a good game. Good game from De Ligt. Luke Shaw. Yoro, another decent game. Dalot, no. Diallo should have started. Casemiro, actually, cheeky game from him. Bruno, just a usual Bruno Fernandes Manchester United game. Dorgo was actually decent. Cunha was good, especially when Sesko came on and Cunha started playing in the left cab, because in the beginning of the game, he was the false nine. Mount actually surprised me a bit. And Mbuemo, I haven't watched him at Brentford or anything. Saw the price tag and everything, but Mbuemo was actually good this game. Very technical. Loves to cut in on that left side. Loves to play make with his teammates as well. So, like, United, going into next, continuing the rest of the season, you obviously have no European football, no UCL, no Conference League, no Europa League. You can definitely do something in the Premier League this season. I said it before in the video that I made. Top 6 should be the expectation, maybe even a cheeky top 4 with the team that you have. I mean, Cunha costs money and Mbuemo costs money, and then obviously Sesko will come on, cost money. And I do believe if Sesko started, it would have looked better. If you have Amad Diallo as the right wing back, it would have looked better. I think United, especially in the beginning of the game and the first half, Arsenal let a lot of space in behind, but United could not use it that much. But if they had the Sesko up there, it could look better. So United, even though they lost the game, even though the game was at Old Trafford, I think they should be happy. Not happy. Obviously, you lost the game. You shouldn't be happy. But the signs are there, and the sun could potentially be shining on Manchester United soon. So Amorim, they have, invested in him. 2 transfer windows now. No, one and a half. The January where they got Dorco. I think he was the only one they got in January. But good performance from United. Arsenal, as I've said, I need to see better stuff. This is a team that is supposed to win the Premier League. This is a team that has finished second 3 times in a row. This is a team that invested a lot of money this summer transfer window. And this game, they got bailed out by Raya and a disgusting free kick. If Arsenal fans are honest with themselves and this Arsenal Arteta project, they need to put the question marks in. And I've been clear with Arsenal fans. This has to be the last season of Arteta. I don't care if the entire team gets injured, Saka becomes blind, his left eye, Gyökeres loses his nose. I don't care. This has to be the final season of Arteta. As a football fan, I do not like seeing this garbageness. It's not good. And it's not good for Arsenal fans. Imagine being an Arsenal fan. Imagine being an Arsenal fan. I saw Arsenal fan. I was critiquing Arsenal on Twitter. I saw Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, we're critiquing. We got a point. We got 3 points at Old Trafford and everything." Yes, for this game you got the 3 points. But the way you are playing, you're not going to be able to win the league like this. You're not going to be able to win the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, or the UCL like this. Arsenal reached the UCL semi last season. You guys have hopes about doing stuff in the UCL, but this just does not cut it. For me, offensively is the biggest thing, because Arsenal, once again, even though United had a couple of chances, Raya was good, the defense did their thing and everything. But I'm looking at the attack. There was no chance creation, and I know United play a 5 at the back and have good size and good defenders and so on. But Arsenal need to figure this out. This was, in my opinion, Arsenal's biggest issue last season, which was chance creation. The chance creation just isn't there. The chance creation just isn't there. They're out of ideas. They look clueless in the attacking third. Something that was not common in the 21-22 season under Mikel Arteta. So that for me is the biggest question mark to look at. And yes, why be more positive to United and negative to Arsenal? Because this team is supposed to win the Premier League. This team finished 16th last season, and everything is going to be better for them this season. Arsenal, are they going to regress once again? That's going to be the big question mark, especially when you watch City and you watch Liverpool and they perform better. Obviously, they played against weaker teams, but we'll have to wait and see. Those are my full thoughts about Arsenal and Manchester United after their first Premier League game. We can even do now that the Premier League, I think every single game has been played apart from Everton and Leeds. Nobody cares about that. City obviously win their game. Sunderland, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal. So Chelsea, big team that didn't win their league, top six, let's say, and United, obviously. But yeah, cheeky start to the Premier League right here, and it was a decent live watch along. Just United got me hyped. They played some exciting football. Arsenal, still question marks over the side if they can actually win the Premier League this season. That's been it from boy PSG, and hopefully guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know your comments down below. That's been it, and as usual, allez, 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 Paris.